All right. Oh, I need to change my video. There we go. All right. Woo.
What up?
What up? In here. There we go.
What's up? This is cool. This is my first time using Restream.
Oh, really?
First time hearing about it. I don't even know what this is, but cool.
Yeah, Restream is awesome. I'm gonna add some like low-key background music in here.
Damn, it's a party.
Feeling some like chill hop.
Ooh.
Damn, that's legit.
You send the mood for us.
Oh yeah, got some chill hop in here. Actually, wait, we're gonna like.
Yeah, after that stressful 20 minutes of our life.
Oh my gosh, I know. Like
nice chill music.
That was so stressful. That was the most stressful. I'd say like 30 minutes of my life, but specifically the last 10 minutes was the most stressful of my entire life. Like, oh my god, I can still feel my heart like beating. It is like beating out of my chest.
My hands are pretty clammy right now. That's for sure. I mean, like once we got to like the 11:45 mark, I would say. I mean, I was already calculating like how many minutes it was going to take and how many retries we have with that video, and it wasn't looking good as the minutes went, but I'm glad we got it done.
What was funny is when Ari we discovered that they gave us 5 minutes more, but at 11:57.
Yeah, I was like,
she was like 57, 58, 59, 1, 2. We should be submitting.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Chris was like, "Hey, if we start recording now, we have 4 tries," and then.
And then we kept talking, and then we were like,
half minutes.
No
We
more
have
tries.
8 tries. Thank you, Mr. Math.
We only did the 1 try, and it was dope.
Wait, everyone smile.
Hey.
I'm gonna
tag this on web3con.
4
That
tries
was
went to
legit.
1. I mean, oof.
Oh god, that was so funny.
That was crazy. But like every hackathon is like this. It's like everyone is trying to take like as much time as possible to create good products. It's like, I don't know. It's like proactive procrastination. It's like you want to optimize your opportunity by running this ahead of time. But I feel like it's always submitting at the last minute in a sense. But it's for the best.
I mean, just like literally like getting in on this on Sunday and not even preparing for this hackathon, Brian. I mean, like you brought that up legit like the day of. Like I think we only had like maybe a couple hours to be able to even submit that we could even do the hackathon.
Oh yeah.
And then we just like dove right in there. I mean, it was crazy. Very serendipitous. Very Web3 of us, I would say.
Very, very Web3 of us.
Very Web3 of us.
I'm posting us to Instagram stories. Like
Nice.
we're all really cute, so I have to show.
Yeah, we swam our way through that
I'm gonna say
giant
the Web3
wave.
swim con. The Web3 swim team is live.
Alright, so when we all meeting
I'm
up in
actually
person?
literally looking at a
That is the
a
next
tutorial.
step, Calvin. That's a good question. When are we meeting up in person? I mean, I
Right?
say like, I mean,
I'm down.
even whether we win, whether we lose, no matter what. I mean, like the fact that we did this, I thought was like a really awesome thing for us to like be able to like band together within a week and create this concept and to do all the amazing things. Like we should be meeting in person. I mean, like things are getting a little bit better out there, so if you guys want and if you had like a good meetup spot, like let's set up something. I don't mind paying for it for us too, so that we can all like get together and say hi in person and stuff.
Just pick a US. Canada's a little like I don't wanna do anything
Where
here.
in Canada are you?
In the best probably place, Toronto.
Yeah, the best part of Canada.
I was in
Yeah, the best
Toronto
part
not
of
even
Canada, yeah. Literally the
week
best
ago.
city.
Yeah.
I want to go to
was in
Toronto so bad.
A week ago.
You were there
A week ago?
Yeah. When I came back, I was when I talked to you, Chris, last month. I was in Canada. I was in Toronto.
When you come back, let me know. I'll take you to nice places.
I'm definitely-
We'll have fun. Yeah.
I'm definitely coming back. I was living there the year before.
Yes. Yeah. I think some was also from here too. Oops. I'm just Instagram story.
where are we located again?
That I am.
So I think you mentioned you were in Las Vegas, Calvin.
Yeah.
Well, mine was, I believe, West Coast typically. I believe.
I'm in Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
He's in the best meetup spot. We can go gamble.
Toronto. Brian, I'm not sure if this is correct. You said Motley Fool, so like I know there's Motley Fool in Virginia, but I would assume that there's another one in Boston. You're in Boston?
No, I'm remote, but yeah.
Boston, no, but are you in Boston on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so Boston, and then I'm in DC area, Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
what would be a good
we're
meetup
everywhere.
spot? New York? I mean, New York is always a good spot. Las Vegas? I mean, Las Vegas is Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas is dope. Yeah, Las Vegas or New York, I would say, would probably
I'm down
be
for New York.
super dope.
I'm down for either.
I'm gonna be in New York in the next month.
That's
Wasn't
not
there the
too
NFT conference in New York?
Yeah, isn't there another
yeah,
conference
it was.
coming up?
That's in
Yeah,
the
when's that coming up? I wasn't able to go to it, but
NFT NYC.
I wasn't able
That
to
one?
go either.
Yeah,
NFT
NYC.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's in the summer, maybe like June or something like that.
Yeah, it
Let's
was
see.
in the summer.
when we
had a
drop
lot
our
of fun
NFT
too.
project, we'll need to make an appearance. We'll have to.
I mean,
get it.
Bitcoin Miami's going down. In when, Ian?
I'm
You
going.
said?
Are you guys going to that?
I was
Yeah,
thinking
in
about it.
That's in
Nathan
April,
brought it up.
I'm gonna be at that event.
April 4th or something like that.
Yeah.
It's April, yeah.
I'm gonna be in New York for my mom's.
There's also an
birthday.
LA event after it
It's
too.
For your mom's
NFT
birthday?
LA or something.
She doesn't know I'm going back. Just wait, this is live. Oh crap!
Is there like a?
We'll keep your secret safe.
Is there a conference over in New York coming up for the NFT industry, like another NFT NYC or anything similar?
I have no idea. I'm so out of the New York
Google it.
City events. Yeah, and what NFT NYC is June 21st to 23rd.
Oh, that's in 2022 June. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yo, that's gonna be fire. We should all
is
go to
gonna be
that.
fun. I'm trying to find something that's actually immediate because by June, the actual NFT project for us will. I mean, we're probably going to be. I have a strong inclination that like the summer is going to be like fire for NFTs. I think all of like Q4, the rest of Q4, probably right up until December will probably be like super fire, and it's because
That's when we're gonna be the busiest.
I think this is the last year that people really get to like honestly make their like big money like in the NFT industry, because next year there's going to be a huge amount of regulations, I feel like, on like certain things. Like big whales right now, the main like incentive for them is like tax loss harvesting and wash trading and stuff like that. Like that's a very prevalent thing. And I mean, it's not like, I mean, it's frowned upon, I guess, but it's not like illegal or like there's nothing wrong with it. But I think
Do it now.
yeah, but I think that like by next year, you will start to see regulations around those certain things. And if that happens, then you know that like people are going to try to get it in while they can. That's just my theory though.
Okay,
like,
controversial opinion, maybe unpopular. Could regulations make the market pump? Because if it's a safer investment, more liquidity, people are more incentivized to get into a market that they understand and they have backing by institutions.
True.
Like EY getting into Polygon, that's like huge.
I think any PR around the industry is going to bring in more interested people. You know, but at the same time too, because I feel like a lot of people really do take advantage of like wash trading and loss harvesting, that like right now, like there's like a really down period where I feel like liquidity is really sucked out of like the entire space, and it's gonna, you know, move around between like coins, altcoins, etc. But at which point, I think at some point later down the line, you know, money's gonna flow back. And when that money flows back, like think about it this way. This is the one thing that I want people to watch out for. Like Coinbase, for instance, right? Coinbase has not launched their NFT marketplace. And there's a reason why. So like if Coinbase were to launch during a bear market, what the hell would happen from a PR perspective? How would users feel about that, right? Like in my opinion, like if Coinbase were to launch their marketplace in a bear market, it would like totally, like all the bad slander could destroy them, right? And it could hurt the NFT industry really badly. So I think Coinbase purposely has not launched their platform for those reasons. You know, and when they do, I think you're gonna see like a ton of money flood into the space.
Do you think also there's like, I know that everyone talks in the startup world of like first mover advantage. So you're like first to market, like Uber, you take over the market. I still feel though that there's a incentive to being second, but being first to be second. So like OpenSea, they just had a huge hack, right? And somehow they got access to wallets and then or emails, and then they were able to like send people like you have to like
big phishing scam.
Well, big phishing scam. So like, do you think Coinbase is trying to learn from what other people are doing that's not working out? And then it's like you obviously like don't want to launch in a bear market, but then also you get to see what other mistakes people are making and then not do those, because it's like I think people used to think that OpenSea was this like, oh, nothing bad can happen, you know, kind of like Mac. Remember like Macs, they were like, oh, like the Mac, you can never hack a Mac. It's you can never get a virus. And then people are like, wait a second, you can definitely get a Mac. Like it is a device. You can definitely get malware on that. So yeah, Chris, I'm really interested to see what their marketplace is like, because it's like Twitter Spaces, right? It's like it's going to just attract masses because they have such a big user base. But it's interesting because I almost wonder if marketplace isn't the product, because the wallet, like how they're kind of building more integrations with dApp logins and that type of stuff. I wonder if it's really the product, which is the wallet, and then it's used in the marketplace, but marketplace might not be a priority. It might be more like custodial ownership, I wonder.
I feel like it benefits them more to wait.
Yeah, I mean,
see what happens. Yeah, and things are super fast. So like,
that's what I was about to just say, Mama. You hit the nail on the head. I think like things are moving so fast that, you know, for someone like Coinbase, right? You mentioned first to market, and like the difference between Coinbase and a lot of other platforms like wallets like MetaMask, for instance, is that Coinbase was technically first to market within the industry. Maybe not with a wallet, you know, maybe not, you know, first to market with the NFT marketplace, but they were first to market within the crypto space. So since they're already at that level, an NFT marketplace for them just makes a natural sense from a progression standpoint. Now, will they, you know, put in the love and intention and, you know, the resources and the manpower behind the platform versus like their actual main like exchange? You know, that's yet to be seen. But I would, you know, safe to say that they are, because I mean, if you look at a lot of like the partnership stuff that they're doing, if you look at a lot of like the Twitter Spaces room that they're, you know, working with like their creator partner channels or whatever have you. I mean, even if you go to like even LinkedIn, right, and check out like their hiring versus like crypto.com and like some of these other competitors like MetaMask, for instance, like they are hiring specifically to ensure that the NFT marketplace is a success, and that the partnership specifically behind the marketplace is a success. And I think that for them, the real advantage of the marketplace isn't only necessarily the marketplace. I mean, sure, that's a huge component, but it's also the strategic partnerships that they get to build within the space as well, which is like super huge for them. I mean, like they're bringing on people like Paris Hilton, you know, bringing on Snoop Dogg, bringing on, you know, some of the best like celebrity talent like that they can find. So yeah, I mean, I'm bullish on Coinbase being a huge mover in the NFT space when it comes to adoption. And I mean, you know, Coinbase's partnership with MasterCard, another huge thing, right? Like being able to, you know, essentially potentially buy NFTs with a credit card. As dangerous as that sounds for some people, which it definitely is, it's going to bring in a lot of revenue.
I think people buy more dangerous things with a credit card than crypto. Like, to be honest, an asset that grows like over time compared to what you can buy with a credit card.
Not financial advice for anyone who's listening to us, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We are not financial advisors. It's like that little disclaimer. We have never played a CPA or a CFA online.
It would take financial advice from me. You just collect
for entertainment purposes.
We collect free pictures.
But it's interesting, like, I was talking to someone and they were like, where do you get information about crypto and Web3? And I was like, hackathons. You get it from hackathons. And they were like, but what about Twitter? And I was like, depends who you follow. Because there's like a lot of people that like shill NFT projects and coins, which is like super, like you don't know who's marketing what. But it is kind of interesting where like if you go to hackathons and you build with technology, you get to really see upfront like the trends. Kind of like if you go to like I was at reInvent a few months ago. I got to really see like partners that are building on cloud and building in AWS, and you get to see that there are certain practices that are being adopted with like hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, for example, like redundancy and like dual backup and that type of stuff. Like those are really important topics that come up when servers go down. So it's like you kind of think about that like with hackathons. It's like you get to hear about decentralized storage, you get to hear about decentralized video streaming. What else? Oh, layer 2s like with Polygon and that type of stuff. Storage with file-based, video streaming with live peer.
Events are like the way to go.
Yeah. Industry events are really good, and making sure you're connected with the right folks in the industry. I mean, being in that hackathon, I can agree with you, Brian. Like that hackathon poured in so much new knowledge for me in the space. Like so many different levels of that. Like being able to play around with different tools and stuff like that and just see how everything connects. I mean, like hackathons are a really good experience, man. I'm so glad you got us in on that, man.
Yeah.
And hackathons, it's very difficult to bring in scams in hackathons because you have like real partners coming in. Like, we met with all the live peer people, the experts. So like, that's really cool. Where in social media, you have both. Like you have really good community, you have really good potential, but you also have a lot of possibility for scams. And so that's like exactly what we've seen in like the NFT world and like influencers pushing certain like scammy NFTs projects and stuff like that. So like, it's risky. It's like you need to know who you're following and who you're connecting with.
100%. And remember, like you've been to a bunch of hackathons. You had kind of like subtly suggested that you were like in the scene. So like, what was this like for you? Like, what did you like?
Honestly, the best parts of hackathons is the people that I met, and like similar to how we connected. Like now, like I know you guys for life. Literally found myself working at the same company with one of my hackathon people. Another one also on one of the companies that was acquired later. And then I met them randomly in New York, like a few years after. I was like literally run into them. And the bond is really crazy. And then the number of things that you bring into the table, it's so different. Like you have so many backgrounds. You have people like as we did, like front end, full stack, people that are good at project management, people that are coming from different industries, like people that are in the tech, but others that are in the financial tech, like fintech, others that are like super diverse. And so we bring in all of that together, even from the ideas, how you put the project together, how you prioritize with the crunch time and stuff like that, and how you sleep on the floor when it's like a 24-hour hackathon and stuff. Oh my god, that was really amazing. I literally did this hackathon. Yeah, I literally did this hackathon and then pitching. And pitching is huge. It's like if you have the opportunity to be pitching the project, oh my god, you can like nail it at that as well. And mentoring and stuff like that. I remember I did this hackathon in New York, literally where there's the Bull in Wall Street, the building right in front of it.
Oh, nice.
And the problem is like we got there, but it wasn't supposed to be a hackathon where you stay there. But because our team, we went to a conference room and we didn't know that conference room was not reserved for us to use. When people left the building and left the facility, they didn't see us. So everything closed and we couldn't get out. We couldn't get food and we stayed there for like literally 27 hours, slept on the floor, couldn't get food. When they came in the morning at 9 a.m. and they see this like bunch of people going out of the room looking for food and water. It's so much fun. From the learning, from the connection, it's like the best thing.
100%. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, it's like, I feel like it teaches you to just like, what is an MVP? Like, let us just get something live that does something. Like something that does something. That's what I feel like a hackathon is. It's just like learning and building and like obviously like breaking a whole bunch of stuff and then figuring out how it builds and works together. So,
and the amazing thing about hackathon is that you can also prove how you can build things very quickly versus when you're in like corporate, to make a little change it takes like a week to go in prod and you're like, how is this even possible? You literally built a product in 3 days.
There's like it's like for TikTok. I know we were talking about TikToks, but there's like that sound. I'm not gonna do it because I won't do it justice and I'm tired. But it's like the person who's like typing really fast, and then like the person who's like clicking to the left of moving a button around, and it's just the differences between like working kind of like in like corporate setting versus like hackathon, and it's like you're building so fast versus like should this be to the left or should this be to the right? And back to the left.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that, like, at the last minute of that hackathon, I've never heard, like, you type so fast, Brian, before.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You should, yeah. I think the mechanical keyboard makes it sound louder, but yeah.
I feel like, because I've been in so many startups, like, this was the stress that you feel when you have, like, a product launch in, like, a week and you're all crunching, your whole team's crunching, and like there's no time. Like when you're like, oh, this might look a bit, but it's like, no, just do it. I'm like, oh my god. And this is my first hackathon, but it just like reminded me of like the events industry in general and like how stressful that is, because everything goes wrong on the day of. And that's exactly what was happening in the last 10 minutes. Everything that could go wrong with that form went wrong.
I wasn't expecting the form to have so many questions.
It was all repeats too from like stuff we already submitted. They were like, make sure you get that again.
You know what it reminded me of is like when you go, I don't know if you guys ever had to do this at a job like interview, but like, you know how like they have you like, you send in the resume and then they have you fucking rewrite the entire resume again. That's exactly how that
why do they do that? They have the ATS system. It scans. I've talked to people in the industry. It scans your resume. They know what's in there.
You know what? Sometimes, and that should find a solution. Sometimes they don't read the same if it's a PDF or a Word document or whatever version, whatever you send it with. And so it's like to make it unified. It's like you just read in from one format that you're rewriting. Obviously, there's not the most
so
ideal.
They should even ask for a resume then.
Yeah, I know. They should just ask for one or the other.
Wow, the whole time I thought they were just testing my aptitude or something, or my attitude. Okay.
I feel like at a certain point, do they use it also kind of to like weed people out in a sense? I feel like it's like if you're really motivated to fill out that job application, like you're gonna do it versus like I'm not that interested. I feel like they use it honestly, as a criteria.
You can do it once, and you can just copy paste that in a thing, and you can copy paste. So I don't think they're, I think that would be stupid.
Has anyone actually just put in C resume like when they rewrote it? Because I have done that, and like, I mean, I didn't get that job.
I was gonna say I think I've always filled it out. I was gonna say it'd be interesting if I didn't do that. I'm always worried though.
C resume, just a C attached file. They'd be like, wait, what attached file? I know you guys have it.
All this is redundant.
Oh my gosh. Oh, we have some people in the chat. Hey, how's it going?
Yo.
Oh my god. Pitch deck drafting at the last minute is literally a thing. Like, you do that all the time. Nobody ever has the pitch deck ready the day.
It's always in review, like right before they get sent out. I can't imagine.
I'm flying here. I got off a plane. Time to write the pitch deck. Like, what?
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine though, like when the Coinbase ad on the Super Bowl went out and it crashed the site? Do you imagine if there were SREs on call that were like, oh my god, the EOB is down, like this is like, we have to like fix this, like the server's on fire, like.
See, if I was a manager there, I'd say no.
NFT communities is when Discord just decides to crash.
Yo, did that happen actually? Oh my god, I did a
That's a thing with gaming too. Yeah.
There was a time where Discord went down, and I was just like, man, anyone who has a mint during this time when Discord is down, they just like they're game over.
Right now.
Yeah,
like,
it's game over. GG.
Like.
But yeah, no, I guess Coinbase. If I was a manager at Coinbase, and if the server crashed, honestly, I probably would just leave it crashed. It wouldn't even be about the signups at that point. I feel like everyone can wait to sign up. I think just the fact that it crashes is like, that's PR worthy.
Oh yeah, I think it was all orchestrated. I was talking to someone about this at work, and I was like, isn't that great PR that the site, they're typically targeting like a specific age group, right? Those are going to be people that aren't as familiar with Coinbase. They're going to be like, what's a QR code? And they're going to scan it. They're going to then go to it. It's not going to work. And then they're going to contact maybe their family member who's going to be like, what is this site? I tried to get on it. I can't get it. They're going to be like, oh, you tried to get onto Coinbase. Let me tell you about crypto. And it like spurs conversation. I think that it was orchestrated. Like, I heard that they were getting a lot of flack, like the ad agency, for like not planning this out. But I think that it was all planned out. I think that like, you think like they just IPO'd. they know that these things are going to happen. I think that it was all planned, which is great marketing and advertising because then it like spurs on way more people.
That was honestly super effective. That's like literally using the curiosity of like natural curiosities. Like obviously if I see a QR code in a big event like that, of course I'm gonna scan it. Like duh.
100%.
I will just scan it anyways. QR codes are so mysterious. Like
I just want to thank you. I want to say though, as soon as I saw that, I was telling like my friends and family, I was like, don't click the QR code. Like you don't know. Like that was screaming inside me because it's like from Web3. It's like you don't know. Trust and verify and validate and understand what you're clicking. But
on such a on such a big event and in like a very strategic moment, these are like, we're not talking about an ad at the end. Like these people actually do pay a lot for where they are putting their ads. So like, be very surprised. It's like that's the end of the world. Like just to get off TV and get off all Web2.
Oh my god,
you're done.
Pay like millions of dollars to like hack a bunch of people. Like that'd be so scary. Like that would be like James Bond type movie.
Yeah.
A hack at that scale. Holy crap.
How much would it cost to run a Super Bowl? Is it $1 million plus? Like,
no, it's way more than $1 million.
It's more. I think they paid 4 million or something.
Yeah, hold on. I got it right here. So the Coinbase ad itself, like the good news is they didn't have to spend any money on actors, music, like none of the like stuff in terms of the actual like commercial or getting that up. But like what they did have to pay for was just the ad space. Let's see. So what it's saying
14 million.
14 million.
No way.
Yeah.
What? $14 million?
They had a prime time like space too. Like they paid for good space.
The way they calculated it, they actually found out that with what they generated, they would be at profit actually.
Can you imagine that though? That's just so much money to just have like less than a 5-minute ad. That is like the most amount of money you could spend in such a short amount of time.
So comfy.
That's so crazy.
They have so much money, they don't even know how to spend it.
But that should be very strategic. Honestly, that's like very strategic for it. To know to spend 14 million on an ad and it's a risk to take, and they do have a lot of money. You know, they do need to do strategic moves like these. But I think it was really well calculated and it was really well done. I find it like super effective.
Yeah. I saw the funniest meme about it like the next day where they said like it's honestly great that the site crashed because it's going to teach so many people about how crypto works. It's always crashing. And I was like, "Oh, like that's too clever." But classic memes in Web3.
I mean, what, crypto.com? I mean, what, like Coinbase only spent, and when I say only, you know, I know I'm kind of talking down on the 14 million, but like crypto.com, I don't know if anyone remember, like, you know, they're definitely not on Coinbase's level in terms of the exchange, just my opinion. Sorry, crypto.com. But it's, you know, I mean, I think they paid like upwards of close, I don't think it was disclosed, but like a deal for the Los Angeles Lakers, like Staples Center was like close to $700 million. And they have that, you know, renamed for like a very long time. And I don't know if anyone remembers like crypto.com's price after that was announced and how fast that surged up.
Oh, really?
In terms of like profitability, it was insanely profitable. I think within 3 or 4 days, like it was very, very profitable for them.
Ooh, branding. All comes down to branding and marketing.
Yeah. $700 million and like, you make that money back in 3 days. Insane.
I know. ROI, can't beat it. But that's kind of boss to just have your stadium and then like every time that someone talks about you, it's like, oh yeah, Crypto.com stadium. Like that's selling it. It's like for like the Patriots, we have Gillette Stadium. It's like every time you say Gillette. Like I get Gillette products. Maybe I was marketed to, and that's how I buy stuff from them. So it works. It worked.
You thought about it, and then the algorithm was like, here.
It's like, here. You'll now only buy these products for the rest of your life.
You don't have to speak it into existence. They just read minds at this point. Like, I'm convinced. Telepathy.
They do.
I mean, with Neuralink, maybe that'll be a thing.
Oh,
it will.
Are we ready for that?
You just
I don't
get
know
ads from your thoughts.
I would use it.
I don't.
I would use it.
Ooh, that'll be weird.
I want to know.
too.
You know, I always
My
go
thoughts
into the dark
inside.
part of like.
It's too
AI
late.
ethics.
It's gonna be like your
I love
smartphone.
that.
Like you guys say no, when like the convenience is gonna be too great, and like it's just
They're
it's
already
gonna
measuring our
it's
behavior.
gonna
like-
connect to your iPhone, so it's gonna be able to port all your data like instantly into your brain. Like
I mean,
imagine
good luck with
downloading
that
your
data.
brain and uploading it
there's-
into the metaverse. Like that's so cool.
That is gonna be the most difficult, unstructured, mega unstructured data that you can like good luck to work with it.
To unpack all that.
And then you find out that Google figured it out like 20 years ago. They just didn't tell anybody because they were scared that people were.
so, like with Neuralink, like if I think really hard, like is my thoughts quantified in data storage? Like like would I like the more I think, would I essentially be causing Tesla and Elon Musk to pay for that S3 storage?
Can you imagine if we started capping our thoughts at like bandwidth and stuff and like charging us for our thoughts? They already charge us for clean air. And they charge
Do
us
you know?
for water?
Do you know that on average, because I did remember I read something like that, and now I researched it, we have from 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. Do that for 7 billion people.
Ad companies
Like-
are like, how do I monetize this?
Like,
I wonder how many
Party.
terabytes that would be in like a couple
How many
years.
servers would that be?
You have an
Okay,
elastic
once
load
you-
brain.
Once you
like
do
elastic
ad
load balancer.
marketing and once you do like influencer marketing, your conscious like just goes out the window. Like it doesn't exist anymore. There's no, you've entered the dark realm. Of, like, the internet.
like I'm done with you.
You've entered the shadow realm of what's possible.
Wait, what if you
Shadow
turn your
realm.
thoughts into an NFT? And that's
Oh,
blockchain.
Oh man, you're starting to get me think now. Hold on. Hold on.
Yo, it's like
You're
1
getting me
a.m.
thinking.
1 a.m. thoughts right now.
literally dynamic NFTs. Like it changes based upon your thought.
Facts. We got Chainlink.
The smarter you are, the better your NFT.
Yo,
Chain
but
like Oracle
that's so
for thought
unfair because
patterns.
what if you're quote unquote not smart?
I would have the most
And your,
money.
and your NFT will remain the same.
Dang.
You check it every day and it looks the same.
Personal development needs, man. Dang.
You read a book and it changes like a feature.
But if you didn't absorb any of the book, you just
The pages don't look like they've been turned at all. It just looks new.
Gamified learning. That's
Oh my
that's
God.
interesting.
Like this book.
yo,
This is
Game
my,
of Thrones is that thing.
Oh
Oh,
my
man,
god,
that-
the Bible.
This has not been touched since I ordered it. I thought that this
Oh,
book.
I did that book. I know that book by heart.
I thought this book was gonna be
Oh.
like this thick, and I was gonna be like, I can do this. Look at this, the size of my head.
It looks like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. That's what it looks like.
It really
You
does. You,
know,
can
the
like
funny
cast some
story-
spells with this.
The funny story about that book is I actually never bought it until I started my job.
Oh, that is
So
ironic.
That's very ironic.
I
It's
was
like
gonna ask like how legit that book is. Like, do you do it and then you immediately get a job?
no,
Well, it worked so
the-
quick. She didn't even need it. She got it after the fact.
No,
Yeah.
because what I was doing is that I used to print chapter by chapter so that I can have like just a small number of paper, and like I used to do that in the subway, like when I was going to my internship and whatever. So it's more convenient to have the big book. But then when I got the job, I was like, yeah, I never bought this book, and I'm gonna buy it because that's gonna be in my legacy.
Yes.
Not to say, honestly, the thing is like it's a good reference book to start practicing because it has like good material, but it's definitely not the questions that, for example, you're gonna find because you're gonna get asked because everybody knows that that book is everybody's Bible, like, and everybody does it by heart, So, but it's a
Damn, I
good
guess I didn't get that
practice,
memo.
Yeah.
I'm a dev and I don't have any dev books. Maybe I should get on that grind.
You don't have any like, not even like O'Reilly books, like nothing.
No books. No.
I like that.
Programming
Wow.
books.
It doesn't need books. It's all in here.
All my books are like psychological.
I got like self-help books. This is the one.
Yeah,
I'm
me
reading.
too.
I'm reading this right now, but pretty much, like,
Which
Wait.
one is that?
Next 5 moves. Oh, I've heard of that
Oh,
book.
good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Teach you how to scale, grow your team, scale business, give you some ego checks.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Ooh, I've heard of that.
Behavioral economics.
Yeah.
Oh
That is
yes.
good.
Oh my god,
That's
that
really
one.
good. That's a good book.
Yeah.
That's really good one, but it's so difficult to follow up on like quickly.
This one's good.
I had to read it twice.
Startups.
Oh, that one is really good.
Yeah,
that one's super cool. Yeah. It's a reality check.
My favorite part is meetings are toxic. Right there. It says meetings are toxic.
I feel when it's like a day full of meetings, it's just so draining. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get some work done.
I could have got so much work done.
What's like the most meetings that anyone on this call has been through within one single day?
12.
Oh
damn!
How?
You win.
I couldn't do 12. I couldn't do 12 at all. That's too much.
You start a meeting the moment you woke up.
Yeah, that was like in my peak esports time. I'm like, bruh.
And like, were these like 30-minute, like quick, like 15-minute speed dating ones, or were
I
these
was
like
literally on
hour-long
the whole
like...
day until the night because I was working on like, I was working 3 jobs at the time, so I had to be on like a lot of meetings.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm in.
But I'll never do the 3-job grind again. I did it for a month and a half, and I worked Monday to Sunday, and I barely slept. Like it was insane.
Oh my god!
I'm never
All the
doing
power
that
to
again.
you though to like go through that. Like that's so much.
I burnt out so hard. Like I literally could not move for a week when I was done.
I think 5 or 7 is like the maximum I feel like I've done and that I would ever purposely set for myself. No way would I be able to do 12. 5 or 7. I like after 7 meetings in a day, it's like you are like super drained. Like I'm talking like zonked, like zapped, like your brain is just fried after that. And especially like if you're having like hour-long meetings, oh my god.
Yeah, I saw my friend's schedule after that because I was thinking like, yo, is it just me? And I'm like, no, we're all fucked. Like literally all of us are screwed.
There's no hope.
Just next level, like there's
comparing calendars, like, oh, you too. Yeah.
Everybody picks Red Bull for a reason. Like I'm telling you, it's not a meme.
I think during the Clubhouse time is when I did that like 7 meetings.
Oh.
When Clubhouse started and like when that whole Tech Talks like club started to blow up. Oh my god, that's when it was like 5 or 7 meetings like for like at least 2 or 3 months. Like I think at the peak I was doing that like at least for an entire quarter, and it was death on my soul. I like went into like an introverted, like I think like 2 or 3 months after doing all those
I remember
meetings.
because we just disappeared, and before that, you were on every day.
I was
running
building.
around.
Yeah, I was building. I
Every
purposely
day.
made excuses to not want to talk to people because it was so much. It was so draining. Like I thought that it was draining to be a salesperson and talk to people and do meetings, but then like Clubhouse and like scaling conversations, like social audio it's like the most beautiful thing I feel like for mental health if used properly. But like when you overindulge, just like when you overindulge in anything, it's like the worst thing for your mental health too. So definitely double-edged sword there.
The
Remember the
Clubhouse
peak of
era.
Clubhouse, those 6-hour rooms? They were so cool, but you were like, "Oh crap, I can't be in here this long."
Yeah, I was in rooms that were on like 24 plus hours.
Yep.
I would sleep to it, wake up, and it would still be on.
People are
I'm
still
like, bro,
yeah,
what
the
are
same
you
people
guys
running
talking
the room.
about?
I'm
How
like,
can
what
you
is-
talk so much? It was like NFT related at the time, so it was pretty hot topic. But I'm
Especially
just like,
the NFT rooms.
bro.
Oh my god, the NFT rooms at that time were
NFTs ate every single conversation.
Yep.
Even
Oh,
and
yeah.
the hate was high. I remember that was when people really hated it. They were like, "Stop talking about NFTs." I'm like, okay.
get off Clubhouse. Yeah, that's where my journey started. I went into any NFT room I saw, or any room titled NFT. I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I used to like, so like when I got like my first NFT, like I was talking about this, like my first NFT was from ETH Global's ETH Boston Hackathon, and I got a POAP NFT, and I did not understand it. Like I did not get NFTs at all. And it's like from 2019 to now, like I would never have thought that NFTs would have become this big. Like I thought that they were going to be super important in terms of technology and assets and that type of stuff, but like the amount of adoption where like commercial companies are putting big dollars behind it, I would never have thought that this would happen this quickly, let alone like in the longevity of it. Because it's no one gets excited about cloud. No one's like, you gotta get on cloud, and it's like big partnerships about cloud or like servers or Axios. Like no one's doing that, but NFTs is that whole ownable asset. So it's like very different.
I've tested that theory too, man. I've done rooms on NFTs in my club, and then like I got 500, 400, 300 people in there. I do a room on like, you know, the future of cloud, and it's like not as many people. It should be as exciting though. I think the cloud and servers are like really exciting topics. I don't know, maybe I'm just a nerd in that, but like everything needs network.
It's everything that
connections.
I'm interested. People need to also be interested in, okay? Because it's cool.
Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe that's what I'm actually saying. My bad.
It's like
No, but
there's
I
so
think
much stuff being built now.
I'll go to your cloud rooms, don't worry.
yeah, but I think Clubhouse kind of, I feel like it contributed to the NFT hype.
It did. It originated
a lot.
there. I mean, like every celebrity, like from Paris Hilton, from like MC Hammer, from Blau, from Deadmau5, they were all. Drake came up in there. I mean, like every single person that you could possibly think of was like literally talking about NFTs during that pandemic and like during the lockdown. Like that was the discussion during the lockdown was NFTs. I'm happy for it, but does anyone remember the conversations like in the beginning phases of it? It was more like philosophical questions. Like everyone was talking like very philosophical things about NFTs and like what was NFTs, and like no one could really ever explain it, which was like the most like interesting thing. Like Calvin, do you remember those discussions? Like it was like the same...
I remember a few rooms,
on repeat, man. Like but like I'm so happy that the space now, like when you actually go into NFT rooms, the subject matter is so much more like meat and potatoes now. Like now you can actually start talking about different use cases, utilities, the technology behind it, right? Whereas before it was all just like philosophical and like how theoretically, you know, NFTs could potentially change the industry. And I don't think really people took it seriously, and people were like, oh, I hate NFT discussions because of those philosophical talks. But I mean, with mainstream adoption too, like in my opinion, if you were trying to push an industry forward, would you talk about the tech or would you talk about the philosophy? So that was like a very interesting thing to see as well, and like the progression of how like the industry started like giving that information to the masses and stuff.
This just got so meta. My mind is
bad.
No, this is good. This is good. I'm like,
you're bringing it back to old Clubhouse days.
I'm all reflective now.
Oh man, Clubhouse got eaten by Spaces. Like they got ate up.
I beg to differ. So I track the data, and it's not just because I'm on Clubhouse, but I track the data for NFTs and Web3. 100%. Like you shouldn't be on Clubhouse. I would say like the Clubhouse discussions that have NFTs right now, if it's not certain individuals, you need to be careful because most of them are rug pulls and scams. But what I will say is that in terms of like overall social audio, Clubhouse has the more diverse discussions. Like if you're into like entertainment, if you're into like, you know, dating rooms, if you're into like, you know, just any type of random topic. But if you're talking NFTs, you would never probably want to be on there. You definitely
I remember one Clubhouse room I saw they did like a whole Lion King or something.
I remember that. Didn't it crash it?
Some
it
kind of play.
Out.
And they're just like,
crashed it.
I think so.
And BTS, I think there was like one K-pop group that crashed it too. Got7, I think. Like somebody came on, and all of the fans went in the Clubhouse room, and then it just crashed.
What did you think of the Lion King? Did you like that, Calvin? Did you watch?
Oh,
that?
I didn't watch it. I just saw it. But I thought it was creative though, the way they leveraged the whole audio experience. And I think they were like changing their PFP, so it's like mimicking whoever's like talking or the characters. It was definitely creative.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like what do you guys think about like? Because remember when Twitter tried to buy them for like I think it was the $4 billion. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think they should have taken the money, or do you think that they made the right decision to stand their ground?
You want to explain more context? Like,
I think it was for an acquisition. I think Twitter offered like $4 billion, and Clubhouse said no. And then that's when Twitter started building Spaces.
There was like this whole like rumor about that. I'm not sure if they actually offered it or not, but there was definitely rumors of like that happening. And in my opinion, at the time, I don't think Clubhouse should have taken it. Like it was the right move at the time. They just had a huge problem. Like they were doing everything right in terms of like business development, in terms of advisory, in terms of getting the right celebrities. But the problem was one, the app wasn't complete when they had brought it in for everyone on invite only. It was a very half-baked app. And just now they started adding all the features.
Capabilities.
Like that.
Yeah, it was on Apple
feature
for a long time.
They took way too long to ship Android. They took too long to ship additional features. And then on top of that, community management, there wasn't really any community management. There wasn't really any, wherewithal when, paying attention to their creators, like that ecosystem. They did that probably after the hype. And that was their biggest issue. Like they did it way too late. And now it's like they're clawing their way backs. I don't know. I mean, the biggest thing is I see Clubhouse could possibly have a resurgence, but their biggest problem is that once they lose the NFT space, which was like a huge dominant like discussionary topic on Clubhouse, but the next one they're going to lose is probably business content to LinkedIn Audio, because every single person who's doing business either on tech Twitter or on LinkedIn. So I do have a feeling that Clubhouse, based off of their strategy very early on, it wasn't really, they say they were creator and community focused, but they were really more so focused on celebrities. So I think what they're going for is a very entertainment approach, like bringing on people from Netflix, right? So like they have a creator who's talking about the latest show, and because Clubhouse has business development connections to everyone at Netflix, they can randomly get that director or that actor to just come into the room, and it's like, oh, serendipity, wow, like X, Y, and Z came into the room while this random creator just started a room to talk about like the latest episode on Euphoria or something like that, or on Netflix, right? And then like that actor shows up. They're very into creating those serendipitous moments because it was a live platform. Now that they have the record feature, it's very interesting because like the whole purpose of Clubhouse was to enjoy a live experience that you couldn't get with recorded content. But like they also knew that live content isn't really good for redistribution and for views and all that stuff. So yeah, they put themselves into a pinch. But at the same time, like I think that the biggest thing that Clubhouse has was the fact that they came out during a time when everyone needed it, right? Like we all needed social interaction during a pandemic, and like Twitter didn't do that for the people. Like people will always remember Clubhouse no matter if you hate them or love them. Like you'll remember like you were there
at a very pivotal time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it was like talk therapy.
I mean, you'll remember them, and you remember the audio experience, and that's great. But how is the longevity of the app? It's like, how does it matter right now? So that's like the question. It's like, is this still community based? Is the community still believes in it? The faith like on this bringing in something and like being really useful. Like now everybody went back to their life, and like we don't see each other as much on Clubhouse, if ever. So
yeah, I mean, I was just chilling on my home screen and I swipe away every notification I get.
Yep. I turned mine off.
I haven't used it in months.
So many notifications now. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, if I turned my notification off, I wouldn't have seen your room, Chris, when you were looking for Des.
No, you got lucky because I keep my notifications off, and I'm obviously on the platform a lot too. So even I have my notifications off. So that says.
But I never get like notified about anything anymore because I've been ghost off the app for months. I really hopped onto Twitter Spaces. I'm not gonna lie.
So Twitter Spaces is popping.
It is popping.
The rooms on there are questionable, but like they're very, very fun.
Questionable.
So, yes.
I know. There are some NFT ones that are like it's supposed to seem so exciting, and then they're always just shilling something, and I'm just like,
For sure.
Why you do this? This is clickbait. You know, I'm
Does it
gonna
sound
at
like
least
just a
be
bunch of
interested.
tech bros like hyping each other up?
Yeah.
Yo,
they're
this
a product
a
is so
clickbait
innovative.
title wins all the time, okay? Marketing wise, clickbait titles always win. Like for Clubhouse, you just had the most clickbaity title. Everyone gonna come in the room.
Yeah.
That was unfortunately kind of true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, real talk, Clubhouse was so cool in the beginning. Like you had like Grant Cardone when Undercover Billionaire was running, and he was like jumping into that. That was really cool to be watching the show in tandem to actually hearing him talk about what he was allowed to talk about live. Elon Musk, I got to be in that room. That was
Right, he did.
Crazy.
That was like, yeah, that was historical. That was like culture.
That was amazing. There was like such few events. Like Chris, like we met through interviewing Clara AI with the amazing team at Create Labs. Like, oh my gosh! But that Elon Musk room, I just will always remember. There was this person, and they asked Elon what would motivate an entrepreneur who needs inspiration.
I remember that.
You remember that?
And they were like,
And
you shouldn't be an entrepreneur if you're thinking it.
That's when I met you. Was the Clara room, the Clara AI room. That was my first
missed
Tech
out
Talks room.
That was your first one.
Yeah, that was my
Your first room?
Tech Talks
Wow.
room. Yeah, my first Tech Talks room, but my first Clubhouse room, I don't remember. But the Tech Talks, that was the first one, and I was like, "Yo, this is so fire!"
Oh yeah.
And every time I wanted to geek out, I would just join and listen to all of everybody talk. I learned so much. It was insane.
I think where I
brought
met
on great
you,
guest, Chris. Like really
Thank you.
stellar content for sure. You don't need me to tell
Appreciate
you that, but we all know that.
I appreciate that. I think that, like, I mean, my favorite rooms, honestly, like that I actually chilled on there was a lot of the gaming and esports rooms at the time. That's where I think I met you, Ian, right? Like the esports rooms. That to me, like back then, like you had people from Riot Games coming through. I mean, like Umaima was there, like people from Microsoft, like it was top
Twitch,
talent,
everything.
like top brilliant people, you know, like and then now it's just like it's so unfortunate to see that, you know, like once that certain features were created, you started to see a psychology change in how rooms were like moderated, how discussions were had, and like it went from very like organic, natural, like serendipitous like conversations and modding styles to like very curated, like setup type of like gate-kept conversations, that like, you know, like were like pre-planned and like produced and stuff like that. And like that was the big shame in things. Like even with like the Clara room, man, and stuff like that, like it was none of that stuff was produced. It was more so like the way that Abron and me met was through, you know, it was Grady. And Grady is the guy who actually brought Swiss Beats and then like, you know, had like that huge, like, you know, like I think like who else? Fab Five Freddy came through, and like, you know, DJ Scratch came through, and like that was all really predicated off of serendipity. Like I think I had my notifications on at the time, luckily, and he just pinged me into the room, was like, yo, Chris, like ask my AI some questions. I was like, all right, let's see. And I started asking it questions. I was like, yo, is this fake? Like, what is this? And he was like, no, like, let me show you. And he's like, he got on Zoom and he showed me like his access to GPT-3 and all this stuff. And I'm just like,
that bot was spooky.
What is this?
Crazy-ish. I remember.
I started asking it some very apocalyptic questions. I was like, yo, this AI is a truth like seer. Like this is like, you know, this is a fortune teller, you know, but
they asked us to go in, so we all started asking her crazy stuff. I remember.
Once I actually learned about what GPT-3 is and how like the parameters are set and how it scours for its data, that is like the most important thing. Because at first you think it's just a black box and like you're just like asking it questions like, oh, this is scary magic. And then like the beauty of that is like when you have those discussions, you're asking those funny like apocalyptic questions. It's almost like impossible, I feel like, if you're very inquisitive, to not dig deeper and figure out why, you know, this artificial intelligence is answering the way it is. And then that's when you can go down the rabbit hole to actually understand the tech. And like that was like, well, you know, just a fun way to learn, in my opinion. That's what Clubhouse was. It was like a really fun way to learn through voice. And like
One
that
of my favorite clubhouse rooms was what would you do during a zombie apocalypse roleplay?
Oh my
And
god.
then like a lot of people just really showed like their true nature, and I was like, this is so funny. Like this is hilarious. Someone's like, we're gonna leave the kids behind. If there's kids, you're dead. Pregnant, you're left on the side.
Yep. No getting pregnant. Yeah, no getting pregnant during a zombie apocalypse. You can't do that. Like that's
And they were like,
irresponsible.
well, are we gonna continue the human race? And I'm like, I have to leave the room now.
I think I was in that room and we were talking about like, oh yeah, like kids over like the age of 13 only are like, you know, through 17 are like guaranteed only one meal or something. Until you're 18, like that's when you earn like 2 meals a day or something. Like it was some crazy stuff.
And we have to station the women with small children in a bunker. Like if you're pregnant, you're on your own.
Oh.
And the people voted on it, man. It wasn't just, you know, just people spitting out random things. It was the people who were like voting seriously thinking about like, damn, if I was in a zombie apocalypse,
like, we'll kill them.
Would I do this? Like,
that sounds like Clubhouse was the first decentralized governance right there.
Ah.
It was.
Bringing it back. Full circle, Calvin.
Ooh, deep.
We'd love to see it.
That's true. My notes were exploding. Like I used to take a lot of notes. Like the learnings, as you said, Ari, like I used to take a lot of notes. Like
sometimes I would trade that experience for anything. Like
I would spend like my groceries time just doubled or tripled because like I would be listening in and like learning something, and then I would just stop in the middle of the and like be like
holding some cabbage and typing.
Literally, I swear. And I remember the rooms of, I don't know if you guys knew Hassan Khan. Like he used to do a lot of like psychology type of rooms, like behavioral science, stuff like that. I like used to every single, I remember Thursday at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern. And like I would, that's my time where I would go do some groceries and stuff. And I'll like spend 2 hours, 3 hours in the grocery store.
Hassan was a magician. He was an actual magician. And he talked about like psychology of like magic and how that applied to human like psychology in sales and like, you know, like all these different things. It was those conversations were good. Those were good days.
Yeah, they were. I missed the reality TV-esque drama when people would argue with people because there was like evolutions of friendships through Clubhouse, and I'm kind of messy, so I like to like listen to drama. So I got bored. I'm like, yo, like I don't even need TV. This app is free. Like I would just listen. I'm like, damn.
That is true. You can get a lot of that on
Clubhouse. People were fighting, and I was just like, yo.
Yeah, I remember seeing rooms that it was like a follow for follow type of thing. So people were just in there and they just mute.
The silent rooms?
Yeah, I'm just like,
oh yeah.
Is someone really going through everyone's profile just go follow for follow? I'm like, this is weird.
There was the follow for follow, and there was the think about dating, like crush, whatever that is.
Oh yeah,
shoot your shot.
Dating rooms. It was interesting.
I went into one of those like ironically just to like see what it was like. It was weird. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I did not know what to think. I was like, "What in the world is going on over here?"
That room was weird, man. What about the moan rooms? Have you seen the moan rooms?
What?
Oh my god, yo! Oh my god! See the
no,
whale
that's
noises?
Not a thing.
Clearly,
Chris, that's not a thing.
There was a whale noise room and a whale moan room, but the whale moan room was like a parody of the actual moan room. So like the moan room was exactly what it sounded like. It was like a moan room, and like I think I forgot his name. It's like Mike Lowry, but he literally like would pay, you know, contestants like upwards of $5,000.
Oh, they do that on Twitter now.
To do just to have a moaning competition, and like, you know, like out of the human curiosity, I went. I'm not gonna lie, I went in there one time, not on my main account on Clubhouse, on a burner account. I admitted, and I checked it. Yeah, I checked it, and I checked it out, and it was interesting. It was really interesting. I mean, like people were like competing. Like I'm talking like there was fierce competition in these contestants, and like I can't describe the moans, but I'll just say that they worked really hard to make those moans really, really strong, and like they were $5,000 moans for sure. Like people were competing.
Witness some rooms where they would be like PTR your best photo of yourself, and like They would send people money. They would cash out
PTR,
money.
I forgot that term. You're right.
PTR.
Well, there was
Cash
that.
at me. Like,
Cash at me. Like, okay, listen. There were some rooms where people would do social advocacy, and then they would put their Cash App links in the bio, and they were making thousands.
That's crazy. See, I envy those people. Like, though, like I know a lot of people talk bad about the folks who had their Cash Apps and Venmos like just ready on deck. They were probably one of the smarter folks. Like, if I had just left a link there, maybe I would have some extra money from my sessions on
People would have
Clubhouse.
tipped you for all your tech talk rooms.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I've heard of people actually making really good money by leaving their Cash Apps and their Venmo payments on there. So I am a little jealous about that. Thousands of dollars for that. That's crazy.
They would literally, like, it was guilt money, so people would be like, here you go, and, like, send them like 500, 600 bucks.
Damn.
that really happened? I always was skeptical. Like, people were like,
No, it
"Wow."
actually happened.
No,
I saw
people
a
were
lady
getting
for, like,
paid.
400 bucks. I was like, this is insanity. Like,
Yeah.
I
The
never
rug
believed it,
pulls.
but I had no idea.
Yeah, there was that, and there was also the whole spiel around like all the millionaires rooms and clubs of the scammers. Like, they're like, oh, we do this, like, send us. And people, I heard stories about people losing their savings and stuff like that. Yeah, over like, oh, we're gonna do business for you, or like we're gonna
it's like the
teach
Tinder
you, like,
Swindler, like, prequel.
The most dirtiest thing I've seen on Clubhouse was literally a woman. Like, she was like begging for, like, because it was like a millionaire room, quote unquote, and like they were doing pitches, and like it was like during the holidays, and like she was begging for like any type of help and support because she had children that couldn't get like Christmas gifts, and it was like she was like actually crying, like pleading, like you can tell that she was like really like in a bad situation. And like the millionaires, I'm talking the most ruthless, like hardcore closing, like didn't care about anything, had no emotions, must have been like like non-human, but like literally like just forwarding her to their funnel for their ebook that was like $59.99. Like literally that was, and then like the way that they would position and actually reply, like, and frame that, like, and like still be able to pitch the funnel and the link. That was the most insane thing I've probably ever seen, like ever. Like literally genuine people like begging, like people like Grant Cardone's on the stage, and like I think there were some folks from like Shark Tank who was actually on that stage, like from the actual like series of Shark Tank, and like people are just pitching.
No, you know what they remind
their
me
funnels.
of? People that say, would you take $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z? And they're like, oh, take dinner with Jay-Z. I'm like, why?
Jay-Z would have told you stupid for that one.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, Jay-Z would have told you stupid for that one. That's for sure.
Take that
He
money.
told you over dinner, you're stupid.
Yeah, don't sit with me.
Oh
You
my
just got
god.
Imagine
$500,000.
he pulls up with the cash and says, "This could have been you, but you stupid."
But that is weird though, like all the funnels and stuff, because it's like I just remember that so this was like in the startup phase of my life, I guess, and I would like go into those rooms to like think like, oh, I'm gonna pitch in front of these people and it's gonna be so exciting, and like you never really end up getting there, right? It's like, and then you find out that it's all kind of orchestrated a little bit.
Yep.
Like some of the rooms and some of the situations, or maybe like you have someone who has a lot of funnels, right? So that person has some of their clients. So their clients are going to go on stage and, oh, you find out that oh, they're the ones that won, and how did that happen? And it's like, yeah, I wonder why. It's
No
like you find
agenda
out-
rooms are hard to find in Clubhouse. Like every room had like some hidden meaning or agenda. Like that was like the most, like in the beginning of Clubhouse days, you would have moments in a lot more rooms where there was like no agenda and it was just like just vibes, really. Nowadays, you go on Clubhouse, every single room has a hidden agenda. They're trying to link you to something, drive you down some kind of funnel, like no matter what it is. They're like, and the same thing is with Twitter Spaces too. It's like the game is to be told, not sold, I think is like the saying. And like that's literally what everyone is doing. Everyone's trying to tell you something on these rooms, so you have to be really careful of like which rooms you go into. And it's like, it sucks, it's just the natural progression. I mean, I feel like you'll never be able to get those natural conversations on a like social audio app anymore. unless like you have like just friends who just decide to pop open like a social room or something like that. Now it's like almost impossible. It's like every single thing is like scripted, like, and like it's because the pandemic, right? I think like the pandemic allowed us to open our network, to open our circles, to be more willing to like put ourselves out there with newer people, you know. But like now that, you know, if there isn't a pandemic, are people gonna still do that?
Well,
I mean, it's not the first audio app. Yeah, sorry.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like also like you're right, because like that was the first time where like you could see just like people who would never be in the same room as these people just walk up to them and just talk to them like it was like a normal day. Like you would literally have like audience members and people who would otherwise, like if they're at like a conference or something, not even look in their direction. They were just interacting and engaging with them, and there was no controlled conversation. Anything could have been said. The moderation was so low at the time that like these people literally could have said anything, and it was so cool because like you would see them talk, argue, hear different perspectives, and like who knows how many people gained like employment from that, right? Like I got a lot of contracts through Clubhouse. I met a lot of clients through it too, and I think a lot of people did.
Folks, I gotta hop off. I'll leave you here.
Yeah.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, this was super fun. Thank you so much for joining, you guys.
Yeah.
This was like super spontaneous. We were like talking on Discord. It's like, let's do live and capture all the hackathon excitement. But you guys, we made it. We did it.
We did.
Air high fives all
After a
around.
scare, but we did.
Yeah, it's my heart
Chris
still.
got rugs.
Yeah.
Still
Alrighty.
feeling that, but-
Bye-bye. Have a good
All
night.
right, bye everyone. All right, see ya.
Peace.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.